Well, I couldn't get it, but it is there.
Yeah.
That's how I found out about everything here.
Oh.
Yeah, it puts them week by week, red or green. It tells you all the directions and everything.
Oh.
For each one. It's all in a nutshell in one file.
Oh.
Bang. If I should have saved the page, I should have. I don't know why I didn't think. If I wasn't under the gun like this, make better decisions, you know? Like, I should have, simple little things, a tiny thing, but they call them old age moments. You know, like a younger person that was more on the ball would have known, you know, like, save this page so you can just pull it up anytime. And I should have known that in subsequent weeks. But maybe at the moment I thought I would never come here again. I don't know. Could you teach Taekwondo?
Yes.
You could. Are you, like, allowed to or qualified to? You're qualified to.
I'm not qualified to be a sensei in a sense until I'm a second degree black belt.
Oh, there's degrees of black belts too? Fuck. How
Kung
many?
Fu black belt.
How many?
5.
5? So you got the first degree of black belt.
And it took me 8 years.
Look, man, it took me a long time to get a green belt. You start with a white one.
Yeah.
Like
Which
the Power Rangers.
means you're nothing, you know. Next one is a green belt. But that's as far everybody dropped out. Wusses.
Isn't Power Ranger based off of Taekwondo?
Based off of karate.
Yeah, I'm like fucking stupid.
I like your green. It's a different weed. It's very coffee. That's
I
usually
know.
a good sign for me. Unfortunately,
shit.
it's a bad sign for me too, but it's a good sign. Wow, it's funny. Now that it's like warmer, I feel like I can see better everywhere. Not like I.
Hey, switch spots.
Huh?
Right. Switch spots.
Hang on a second.
Hey, sorry.
Then why do you always come here?
I don't know.
Fuck that looks better if you're over here to me.
Yeah.
No, it looks better if you're over here.
Oh,
Because
but-
then you can't be seen moving.
That's why I said I'm here.
It doesn't matter though.
Oh.
I think we're okay. I just think if we were all right in there, it's not good at all. That would look very bad. Straightening out up the steps. If anybody has any kind of cigarette going, just says your answer. Dude, we're having a convo and we're smoking a cigarette. Which I got one, so.
Hey, my.
Another?
Hell yeah, go die, man.
Here, you
I
could
want
like
to
this.
kill you.
You could pass this. It's a fresh pack of the other stuff. Actually, the truth of the matter is it's holding up quite well.
Yeah.
If I get 2 days out of an 8, that means I'm behaving myself better than sometimes. It was very bad. So sooner or later, I'm going to have to tell people, just don't even allow me to smoke with you. You know, just tell me now, right? Because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be going through withdrawals and depression for a few days, you know, but I'm having trouble breathing. That's why I have to take a nap for an hour every day. It's basically my lungs are regenerating, I think. So you don't regenerate stuff as good unless you're sleeping. That's when the body rebuilds.
Might be some in there.
Did you know that? But it was fun last night. We were high as a fucking kite, man. We really were. In spite of the bitter cold, I wasn't feeling no pain.
Yeah, it's some good shit I have.
It was 21. Now it's like 35 or whatever. It's amazing what 10 degrees.
Does.
Yeah.
Literally does. Like, holy fuck,
Especially
it's like summer
the
right
10
now.
degrees that's above freezing. If you go
Yeah.
from 35 to 45, now you got, that's a very significant
It's like, what is it right now, 31?
35 or
Fuck, it feels like 45
32.
right now.
It's approximately 10 or 12 or 10 or 15.
I'm
degrees,
fine
whatever,
with
yeah.
that. I can sleep out here compared to last night.
I could in my frog togs if they were on the outside.
Uh,
If they were lashed around my boot, so no air went in and out of my boot. That would be all you need. I tell you, you get me going. I think about this stuff, technology, devices, sleeping bags. I'd like to manufacture a 10-foot diameter, 7-foot height, modified dome with an inch thick polyester insulation, the whole tent. Okay? Floor and all. So you can eat it with that little heater like that, toasty in 10 minutes. And 6, 7 people could sit there. Now, what would it cost? You're talking about 2 tents, a little bit bigger and smaller than each other, polyester in between. It's not a lot of cost. It's not a lot of weight.
Nope.
The Coleman's greenhouse, when you ever get to see it eventually, is ingenious. It's just spread out the 6 legs. The roof, which has 2 curved sections that folded down, pops right up. You see? And once it's popped up, it can't pop down because there's 2 curved sections join at the peak where they meet, right? Then, because you put over the top, the fitted top that lashes on each point, 6 points, and you got a right tight, almost windproof, snowproof design. I wish it was just a little smaller. I don't need 12-foot diameter and 8-foot high.
Yeah.
That'd be hard to sell a lot of to people.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's wonderful. It's too much heat. But I'm telling you, the key I've taken so many years to learn. It can't be haphazard the way you insulate.
Hey, where's the one hitter?
Huh? It's
got-
You want the one? It's
Yeah.
coming. I haven't even quite finished it.
Oh,
It takes
bet.
me- This is a 2-hitter for me.
I know, you're good, homie. That's an all-day hitter for me.
I already told you my previous routine. The mini coin cops. I would just put a little bit in the bottom of that. Just bang. While I'm in a restroom, public restroom, just one hit. I'm out the door of the restroom. I'm out the store on the street. I can exhale it on the street, but I didn't do it on the street. So I used to do that in this little bitty New Hampshire town where you wouldn't want to be caught seen by anybody, on the street, but just back in the restroom, I worked there. So I'd step back in the restroom, do a hit, blow it out the window, step back out into the store. In the good old days.
Yep.
That's what I did at Sprouts. That's what I did at Chipotle.
I just go to the bathroom and smoke. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, that's what we did. We just went to the bathroom and smoked.
But I did some bad things there. I feel bad. These people at my other job, which was construction, wanted.
I've done some bad things on construction.
They
sites.
wanted. They wanted these net shirts. The regulations require T-shirt, but they're wicked hot out in the concrete work. So these net shirts from Norway, they're just fishnet, white fishnet. I used to steal them and sell them on the side for $5 a piece at my construction site. I worked in the store that sold them. I don't know why I didn't just buy them and sell them at a profit, but instead I stole them and sold them cheap.
Crack way.
That's the stupid.
Yeah.
It's just stupid stupidity of youth. They cost $5 retail. I should have said, all right, they cost me $5, but I'm doing a delivery. It costs you $9 now. I'll bring them up every Saturday. What you got? But I worked at 2 jobs. It was 45 miles apart. Most of my life, 2 jobs at once.
That's what I've been to.
On the weekend, that was in the store that sold the sports shit. And on the weekday,
Let me see the one here.
come at
Oh,
you.
look at that. Hey, oh, is that the old guy you were talking
Here.
about?
He's not new though.
I know that. He's an asshole.
Did you already finish this little one, or you
Yeah.
did finish
Yeah,
it,
we
right?
went there.
Yeah, it's finished.
Yeah, that's. You meant the old gray guy?
You want to smoke any more?
Yeah, we're gonna smoke way more. Fuck yeah, man. Nothing to stop me, motherfucker.
I got real coffee with me from this morning. It's
Let's get
probably still
coffee.
somewhat warm. If you want it,
Yeah.
I need it just to be able to breathe. But you might not care because I think personally, you said the coffee was good, and I was shocked. I think it's horrible tasting. I brought it home and I taste it when I sit there in my tent. I said, "This is fucking horrible, man." I should have put some espresso in the hot when it was hot and made it a double
I gotta put way too much sugar.
to make it taste good. I have espresso with me, a bag of raw espresso, and I have coffee from this morning. If they had a micro here, you could enhance it.
I'm sure you can talk to the kitchen people about that.
They could just give me a cup of boiling water, then I'll just put some few spoons of espresso in it. And just stir that up. 5-10 minutes later, it starts to decant very nicely. In the beginning, heat rises, so it's bubbling up there.
Yeah.
But as it
That's
starts
too
to
yummy.
cool,
Sorry.
the grounds will just settle to the bottom very nicely, and just pour that off in about 10 minutes.
There you go, bro.
Awesome.
If you wait more, it's better job.
I got a question. You said you've been a lot of places. What is the easiest way to get somewhere south?
Bring your own bus.
No, on a train.
Well, not even necessarily on a train, just
South.
A
Yeah,
train
just-
costs more.
south, just relatively very low cost or free if possible.
Bicycle. I've thought about going to Florida on a bicycle before. I seriously have.
Because I want to just have a trip where it's somewhere warm. I can chill on a beach with a margarita or something
Here.
and just
Yeah, everybody wants that, but
yeah.
how do you put all the other shit on the side while you take a break? I've done it before. I went to my beach several times for a couple months one time, several months. I actually got caught. I ran out of money. I had to wait till the next check to get back. But the truth is, I never had a system for survival. Here we got a pretty good system of several things going for us, you know? A few people have friends. It's more like loners down there.
Yeah,
The
loan
total
sharks.
relative population of homeless in Miami Beach is fairly small. There's a lot of ways to live cheap there. Some of these hotel rooms, 75, 80 bucks a day is not bad.
Wow, that's the same price here. So what's the difference?
Well, even less, even 55 a day. On the beach, that's a difference.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a
Being
grand.
able to literally
In other
walk
words,
out and you're
in
at
other words, it's some crappy grade B 2-star hotel
I'm
like
down with that. I ain't
Which-
tripping.
which
But-
is a bed, a
but
TV, a fucking.
you step right out the freaking door and
Yeah,
it's
the
like
beach.
the ocean's
Like,
50
yeah.
feet away. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, whoa, this is cool. And there's nothing to think about because nobody knows you and you don't know nobody. You see, like at the table tonight, and I'm only criticizing because I care about you. I want to tell you this. When people talk together, long conversations, what's happening is they are deciding things. Listen to what you're saying about, and you're going like, well, and the truth is, A, is your decision really correct? This nobody ever agreed completely. And then the other thing is, was it necessary? Who asked you to decide anything about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Do you think he's going to go there tomorrow? Or, you know, and it's all like it never mattered, and that's all wasted energy. That if you had the energy, this is what the gurus show us. You could actually time travel.
Yeah.
You see, you could actually do like there's astonishing things you could do if you didn't waste it all on fascinations with pepperoni pizza and jogging or whatever the fuck you're into.
How do you time travel?
How do you time travel? Well, when you go up in the planes, you have more control over time and space.
Oh,
This is the one where we're locked.
got it.
This is it. You know, that things are more willpower driven. The
Got it.
closer you get up to God. What's that? Oh, did you play it? Is it played?
Yep.
I'm getting him higher because he's putting out a lot.
Who?
But I'll tell you one thing. As far as me, I'm going to have to. If I had guts, well, I would say I will not touch a blunt. Not
Shit,
the
I'm
flavor.
smoking your
not the flavor.
damn ass out, bro.
Those things are very, very hard. What a difference.
Mhm.
Like a regular paper,
Yeah.
no problem. Those blunt with the flavor is like, oh, what the fuck is this? So I looked it up. They're allowed 15% non-tobacco ingredients. And the wrap itself is paper. Thick paper though, not cigarette paper.
Yeah.
Well, it's fairly thick. It's thicker than cigarette paper. And I said, you know what? If you got emphysema, COPD, should you be like smoking cigarettes? Paper? Tobacco is way milder than paper to smoke. Paper is a refined product.
Yeah.
It's like white sugar versus honey or something. So anyway, I tell people, but they just love these great flavored blunts around here, man. you'll be sorry later because that I feel it. I can feel it for 2 or 3 days.
No,
The
we do
difference in
hemp.
my lung after I
We do
smoke
hemp.
blunt with
Hemp
flavor.
leaf.
Don't get me wrong. I do love a good blunt every now and again.
There's
but
probably natural ones.
there are
What are they?
like King
Hemp.
Palms.
King Kong?
King Palms.
King Palm?
Yeah. They're joint flavors that are made from palm leaves. And they're all cones. They have filters.
Oh, they're all made cones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not cones as in like like the raw cones.
They're not.
They're cones as in like they look like these. They look like cigarettes basically. But you just,
I know what you mean.
yeah, you just pack down. The
I know what
stuff.
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like biddies.
How is it, Mike?
What?
How is it?
That was it. That's it. We're gonna have a cigarette. We don't need any more weed. We're good. Well, you know, if I could do it over, I would have had a control on how much I smoked each time. Some of my friends still do. My Sikh Hindu friends that actually do meditation and Kundalini and 2 hits.
Yeah.
In other words, the people that are really smart and are aware that know about all this shit that actually practice it instead of talking, of those, the few that smoke have a specific amount that they smoke whenever they smoke. And it happens to be, I know some of them. Just happened to be in any case, it was 2 hits. I sat in their parties, you know, determined everything. Okay, we're gonna have 2 hits each. He pulls it out of a tin. It's like a religious thing. Never metal. Pipe. Never in metal. They won't. It had to be a glass or a wood pipe or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it went around, and it was every single time. We did this 15, 20 times with this person. It actually contained exactly 2 hits each. It went around twice. And when it finished, the last hit it was played, it hit back to the guy that filled it and he put it away.
Damn,
Perfect.
badass.
And I never saw him wrong on that, so it's kind of weird. He says, I put in 2 hits each. And I would be counting, of course, because I'm a suspicious Scorpio sun sign that doesn't, you know, that wants to. I said, I never saw it go anything other than exactly twice around. And I'm talking about 5 or 6 people in a circle,
Yeah.
maybe 7 people in a circle. And he could get it right. A big clay pipe or whatever. Homemade. Big
Yeah,
clay
no,
pipe.
I've made my own clay pipes and stuff before. Those are fun.
This was back in college in New Hampshire. These guys were doing clay and other stuff.
Yeah, no, I didn't have glass blowing capabilities at the time, and so I was just working with clay and trying to learn how to mold and sculpt.
You didn't have lung?
Huh?
Lung? Capability, what?
I didn't have glass blowing capability.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You tried it?
Yeah. Glass blowing is so much fun, but it takes a lot of lung power, a lot of.
Oh, I get it. I didn't know that. Of course.
Yeah. And you got to be very meticulous with what you do, otherwise everything's just going to break.
Yeah, you
right
can't
in front
stop
of
in the middle sometimes, right? You have to do a continue. Yeah, of course. You could use an electric lung.
you. I guess you could, yeah.
No, it wouldn't work as good. Not yet. It's a technique. Technical skill means it's a technique,
Yes.
as opposed to a machine. But they can imitate it. I guess they're going to get more and more and more into that. That's
Oh,
sure.
Sarah.
Yeah, you
Mike
got
should be-
TMs, and then you got technical machines, and then technical skills.
But a lot of what we thought was a technical skill can be done by a robot. It's not really. I mean, it's a technique that can be duplicated.
That would modify it into a technical machine because it's being automated by.
So
Robotic.
this is the weirdest thing. I'm still getting over Elon Musk.
Uh,
The amount of stuff he's into. He divides his whole life into 10-minute increments. The whole day. Each hour is divided into 6 parts. That's kind of planny.
after me.
You know, that's rather heavily planned. Every hour divided into 6 parts. He's pretty brutal though.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah,
have to
yeah.
understand. He can't be as cool as he acts all the time. He fired his he had a secretary that always traveled with him, his personal aide. So something happened. And an emergency, right? So she asked for a couple of days off. So when she came back, he said,
You're fired.
he fired her. Yeah.
Are these
I
yours?
can do without you for 2 days. I can do
Are
without
these
you.
yours?
I had that happen to me. I was working for a factory, a shoe factory. I didn't come at one time. They said, "That's it. We can do without you." Ha.
Oh.
So, well, you need somebody in that position. It might as well be me. No.
Do you mind if I use your clipper too?
Huh?
Like the paper clip? I'm gonna use it to get out resin and stuff from the bowl so I can clean it.
Good to go. Oh, it is bowl?
The
Good bowl.
green bowl.
Who's green bowl?
The
I don't know.
the one that's in the bag. Yeah, I used earlier.
So all we need is 4 poles and enough cord to tie 2 pairs together at one point. That's all.
Alright.
And we're going to put a lean-to under the bridge, 2 overhead and 2 on the end. Cover the entire box. I'm talking about against the concrete wall. It's a little ledge where you can lay the pole
Yeah.
in that end. And then the other end sticking out will join with the vertical pole. So we have throw the tarp over, 12 by 24 foot tarp, the big tarp.
Yeah.
Forget the little shit and all the different poles. That's the other way. I've done a lot of square tents, like 4 or 5 vertical poles, straight vertical, and then horizontal poles across all them, and then just made a bunch of rooms, actual square rooms coming off of the main room. It was kind of fun. It looks good. There's a bunch of square cubes.
Yep.
But anyway, we got to get a design and have it ready to go. But I tell you, tomorrow might be the best day to actually put something up.
We might be going tomorrow depending on if plans
Going where?
go well. Somewhere south for a week or 2.
Where?
Georgia, Florida.
You might be.
Oh, yeah.
You too, Dimitri? Huh?
Yeah.
Just to get out of this routine hypo thing. And have a little bit of fun before I...
I don't think that's
Go
going to
into
happen.
rehab.
Do you have any money?
Not currently, no. But I have an Uber app and a Lyft app that I can use.
Yeah, but then what they bill you?
No, I work with Uber and Lyft.
We're gonna train hop south, like Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I
I wouldn't
said.
do that. I told you, after many dives in Miami Beach, like probably 5 times an hour or 6.
Just somewhere south.
I would always have some cash with me. I made a mistake of getting there. They couldn't afford these cigarettes. You know, walking up here, I said, come on, man, I should have at least come with $50 cash. And I only had to wait a week for my next check, but that was a hellacious week, man. Bumming cigarettes in Miami even is very difficult. It's just a different culture, man.
It
You
is.
can't really do it. But if you're looking sharp, so you got to have laundry money, maybe a couple pairs of sharp looking jeans and shirts. You blend in nicely. If not, you're just another miserable.
Oh, I know how to blend into Miami.
But I tell you
I've
what,
been before.
most of the guys down there were drunks. They're in the, but they leave them alone. But they're in the big park called New World Park. I love it. It's huge. Super strong Wi-Fi. Movie every Thursday night that some of us would watch. We'd be having a drink too, but just a drink each, you know.
Yeah.
Passing a half pint around between 3 or 4 guys, you know, no big deal. And watch this movie. Have like art movies from Europe and all kinds of shit. And a huge white wall in the middle of this park with palm trees and speakers around you. That's kind of cool. Right in the middle of South Beach on like 10th Street, 15th Street, whatever, 12th Street. So that part I'm very familiar with. I like it a lot. But I never had to develop a secure place to live or a way to make money. And at the time, I survived, but I was only getting 400 and something a month total check. Believe it or not, and I survived. Now I'm getting 8. But I'm not going there without at least 50 or 100 bucks cash on me, even if the check's coming soon. Because then you really enjoy it. And bum walking around trying to figure out shit if you don't have got plenty, enough cash to. It's stupid. I mean, for $1, it's a cigarette.
Well, Mike, how much money do you need to get to Miami right now? Let's go.
Actually, 119. You got a Greyhound
I got
ticket.
already
You're sitting comforted in
119.
a
I
seat.
got 119.
31 hours later, you're sitting in Miami, and then you pay $2 and a quarter for an express bus.
That's fine. I got
And bang, $2.25, and the express you can talk about a bus, man. It fucking flies. Standing room, no mask, suitcase.
I've been on Greyhound.
Oh no, I'm talking about the Miami Express bus
Oh yeah.
to the beach, not the Greyhound Express.
Yeah.
But
Well, I got 60 for money.
I'm gonna stay here, I guess. I think about the different options. My problem is I just really want to do juice and relax. I can do that better with a voltage inverter.
Oh, hey,
sitting in
Mike,
a heated
I got my
tent.
hammock. I got my hammock. I brought a hammock.
Hammock, yeah.
I brought my
Oh,
hammock.
the black?
No, I brought my hammock.
Black?
Yellow.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's big though. Huge. You want to look at it?
No, but some of them are.
Uh,
Wow, I like the wrong head.
You're really high.
I am.
Yeah.
It didn't fall out though. Always grace. It's always. Kirpal Singh said, the only duty you got as a human being is to remain grateful for all the blessings and favors and lucky breaks you've had. You don't even know.
Yep.
And there's another one right there. I see him all day long. I got upside down trying to light it, blah, 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 and it didn't fall out.
Mm-hmm.
That pipe is good for it too. The glass. It's just the right angle. Normally, when it falls over in the bed or sitting there, it's like that's okay.
It's really peaceful. I like the communication we're having. You know, very humble.
I have been in the high-rise tower in Miami Beach on the shag carpet, groping for a piece that we thought we dropped. And, the whole, all that shit. Heroin, rolled out a joint. Then the boss shows up Saturday at my friend's apartment that we worked for him. Saturday, of all things. We just did some heroin mixed with weed. All of us. These are guys that are concrete workers.
Yeah.
And he wanted to ask him to do some work Sunday. But it's like, whoa, he comes to the door saying, whoops, we're on a coyote heroin. And he shows up. Our very only time I ever did heroin, it's astounding.
Mm.
I can see how people get addicted to it, huh? Fuck. Horrible situation. What you go through just to get another high.
Yeah, for real. It's not worth it, bro. Not worth it. This is why I do weed.
I only have done weed. That's nothing to brag about, but it's better than nothing, I guess. You gotta make some effort to control.
I like weed and psychedelics.
Yeah, I like, mushrooms are psychedelic?
Yes, mushrooms are psychedelic.
Because I like mushrooms. They're all natural. Totally. Nothing wrong with them. And so peyote's actually all natural. These are natural things. It's not the same
I
as
also like acid. Acid is
a natural thing.
acid is not natural.
No.
But the LSD itself
Thanks.
is.
I gotta stop somewhere.
The LSD is basically perforated from the shrooms, in a sense. It's just different shrooms. And they'll cultivate them and mix up the spores, and then they turn it into a liquid. I don't remember what the process is called.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they basically do that, and then they'll put it on these, paper tabs, or gel tabs, or however you feel like getting it.
Right.
I've had the liquid straight itself, I've had the tabs.
I have too. I've had the liquid clear called
How does
LSD
it
25.
how does it taste liquefied?
The LSD 25 is supposed to be pure.
Pure. Is it a lot better than the liquid?
We had it with a med student
Yes.
supervising this.
The trip is so much more vibrant. It's
What?
doing the actual liquid over the tabs.
Right.
Because the tabs over time, it'll
Yeah.
dilute itself.
But we had
Okay,
fresh.
so-
We had pretty fresh.
I could text him and ask if he
We
got
had pretty
liquid.
fresh stuff. I don't know. We were. This was. Look, we're in
Dangerous
Connecticut,
stuff.
right outside of New
Liquid can be
York.
dangerous though.
Oh.
We're in Connecticut, outside of New York, and
Sorry.
they back in a long time ago, man, at college.
But it's not permanent.
Urban campus, kind of cool. Whole bunch of small houses rented by students all around this whole part of town.
Mhm.
It's kind of cool, right on the ocean too.
Yeah, that's cool.
What? University of Bridgeport. But anyway, they at those times you could get anything. Obviously, purple,
Yeah.
orange sunshine, or Benny's, or Speed, or whatever. The crack wasn't even a thing then. And that's what we all did. Also, while we were going to college, you could smoke in the college while you were in class. Then you were getting high and smoking cigarettes in the class.
Mm-hmm.
I did
That's
that. every year.
badass.
They didn't care then.
They still don't. I mean, they do to an extent, but you just gotta be more secretive about it. Right?
Smoke in the bathroom.
So anyway, it's not cool, but we thought we were cool. But I was up so many hours I could even stay awake. I had to use an alarm to get up to go to this class. We were just getting so high,
Yeah, the reason why the liquid the liquid LSD is so much more dangerous than the actual tabs is you don't know how to possibly calculate how much milligram
But you
and
can't
percentage
overdose.
of UGs. Yes, you can. The lethal dosage of acid is 30,000 UGs.
Got it. I'll go slowly.
How much?
Fuck it.
30,000. That's when you become to a point where you're permanently in an ego-dead state and you're basically a vegetable.
Ah, holy shit.
Hell, Dimitri's had that much twice.
Ah, you ain't lying. I came out of it real quick.
All right, now we know what the problem is.
No, I literally hit 2 whole slips in the mouth. I rolled the bitch up and literally swallowed it. No fucking joke.
How many
2
times?
slips. Those were 10. I've
I've done 11 tabs.
I've done
and that
20
was,
at once, one time.
What? What kind?
I don't know.
My tabs were called Prezi. I don't remember what actual chemical compounds
I'm not
they
going
used.
to discuss it now, but I have with other people many times. Book B here now is written by a guy who now calls himself Baba Ram Das, but his name was Dr. Richard Alpert, PhD. He was a tenured Harvard sociology professor,
You said you've done how many? Sorry.
senior professor, and he
11.
Okay, you just took the whole thing. Alright, sorry. Go
he
ahead.
met his friend was Timothy Leary, and another guy, and they were Harvard professors. And they got Timothy Leary a job as a professor, as a matter of fact. They brought him in and got him an office and everything down the hall. And they decided they were trying psilocybin and different things and with students illicitly. They decided to go to India. They got fired eventually for doing that. And they went to India to see what is this acid? What is acid? And they brought a whole bunch of custom hits, 500 mg each. And
Oh, I get
so
1,000.
Ram Dass goes, they're all over India, you wouldn't believe it. Then this guy walks in one day, this California dude, with all kinds of beard and signs and beads, and he sits at their table with them, and they end up doing hashish and mescaline back at their hotel room. And then he goes, I got to see my guru. So they take them way up in the Himalayas, pack guides, they abandoned the Jeep, they brought a Land Rover with them, they flew it over.
Yeah.
So they go up to the first plateau, they drop that, they take a guide up to the next, and they take another guy up to the very, very top. And there's this dude sitting there, big fat dude, I got his pictures, and he's just sitting with an orange blanket on him, and they're fanning him with banana leaves. And he looks at the Ram Dass and his friends, and he goes, you come from America? He goes, yeah. He goes, and the guy, the California dude, runs and bawling his head off and kneels down and kisses this dude's feet. And Ram Dass is going, what the fuck is this, man? I don't have to kiss anybody's feet, man. And the guy says, oh yeah. I said, you come in Jeep? And he goes, yeah. He goes, you give me Jeep. And everybody starts laughing. And Ram Dass is there going like, what the fuck? He's trying to put the make on me? How could he use a Jeep? He's a mile above the roads. But anyway. So he says, you make a lot of money in America, right? He goes, yeah, how much? He says, so he at that time he had an apartment in Cambridge, a Cessna airplane, a sports car, whatever. You know, he was a Harvard top-level professor doing the social shit. And he used to talk about how he'd go to these pot parties and stripper parties, private ones, and look officially, wise and, smoking a joint. I've been to him, the Harvard prof, walking around smoking a joint, articulating. So he says, I used to get diarrhea before lectures. He says, I knew I was a bunch of shit, but I didn't know shit, So anyway, he meets this guy. So he says, how much money are you making? They convert it to rupees, and they all start laughing because it's a lie. He exaggerated it. He took it from 15 grand to 25 grand. You talk about 1960, see? So anyway, they just started. He just started crying or something. So they carried him to a tent, and then he talks about being taught. He said, when you wear leather shoes, the world feels like leather to you. Blah blah. They taught him all these tenets of yoga. And 2 weeks later, he wants to go into town. They go, I'm going to town for a day. So he goes back down the trail with the guides. The diver gets the Jeep and he goes into Bombay. And he does all this tour shit all day long. He's put his love beads back on his robe. And he's doing the tourist thing. And the last thing of the day, this is a very interesting story. I know the guy. I don't know the guru. He died, but anyway, I know the guy. He lives in New Hampshire, and my master, Kirpal, knew him and made a comment as they drove past. These guys all know each other at certain different levels of sancticity, let's say, And Kirpal was the max. Ram Dass is, we just discussed later. But anyway, he goes to this vegetarian restaurant only that's made for tourists. He says, I ordered the 7-course. I've been living on rice and beans, right, and sleeping on a board, right, for 2 weeks. He says, so I'm ordering the 7-course vegetarian meal. So listen to the end. Don't fade out on me at the end, because that's when I get to the point I'm making. So they bring this sherbet, this vegetarian vanilla sherbet, and he puts there's a cookie, stuck inside of it. So he's sitting there at this, he's all by himself, right? He's having a pig of a day, he's acting like a fat tourist. They let him out of the cage, and he's acting like and he says, I really don't need this cookie, my belly's like hurt, but he eats the cookie. So he gets back, he takes the train, then he takes the car, and then up to the pack guides, and he says, I bought him a pack of tangerines, a little net bag for a gift, So he says, the minute I see him, I just says this wave sweeps over me, and I go running towards him crying, and I trip on my robe, and the oranges bust open. This is a true story, actual story from somebody I know, and they go rolling up around his feet, and for some reason I'm overwhelmed, and I know these feelings. When you get near these feelings, they're so fucking powerful, man. There's so much energy. He's sobbing. My tears, my lips actually contacted his feet when I tripped. And I see the oranges rolling up beside, and I look up through my tears, and he's eating the tangerines whole as fast as he can, signifying taking on my karma. And he grabs me painfully by my long hair and pulls my head up like this, and he leans down and he says to me, how did you like the cookie?
How did you like what?
How do you like the cookie?
Oh, nice.
Okay. So, like anything else every day, you get something, you get it, or it matters not to you, or whatever. I don't care. I can't tell you anymore. I know quite a few people like this. And they say that's all that matters. The ability to pay attention. That's what you have. You don't have anything else, because everything around you don't have it. You get deceived and you think you have it. You don't have anything. But while you get involved in having things, you're losing what you do have, which is the ability to pay attention. And how do you say, well, no, I can pay attention. I haven't lost it. Yeah, if you could pay attention, when somebody comes up to me and they introduce themselves, this has happened on occasion. It's not like I have it in control, but I've had this experience, right? And they stick out their hand and you know their name. You just it transfers from their mind to yours. And you pick it up. So you're paying attention a little bit better, because when they're getting ready to introduce themselves, they're saying their name in their mind. And if that's a perceptible signal coming out of them, it's a perceptible energy, you could pick it up. And if you're paying attention, that means paying attention a little bit better. And that's why when he said, "How do you like the cookies?" telling him something. He said, you weren't paying attention. You were lost in space there, picking out. But I was looking after you. I was paying attention to you. That's what the actual masters and gurus actually do. That's for real. Nothing at all like Father Mulcahy. Not like Rabbi Levi. No. I'm talking about real saints. And there's lots of them all over the world. People that want to find out about that, they do.
I want to star travel. How do we star travel?
Well, this isn't that kind of a trip. It's not a trip of having further enjoyments. You could stay right here forever, body after body, if you just want further suffering. But the idea is to pass through the entire portrayed illusion of a physical world. But James Singh said, proud of the golden body, you should be ashamed even to have a body, since you don't need one.
Correct. And you don't.
But the point is, I could tell the average person 1,000 times, I could say that. It would mean nothing to them ever. It would have no change or effect upon them. They would not gain anything from me saying this 1,000 times. Nothing. So I just feel very crazy sometimes. Why do I bother to say it? But these are my friends. They talk like this. I've had it for 40 years. Many. And I've only told you about a couple of things, experiences I had called mystical experience or mystical contact. Just don't mention a couple. But 99.9999% of your time is what? Chattering with people about, deciding things. Is this good? Is this the way to go? Or is this? What do you think? Was this good? What's the church? How's that church? It's like you don't have to. What's the weather mean? You don't have to decide about anything, but you're always trying to decide things. I'm trying to explain something. Deciding means to cut away, decide, cut, side, day, cut away. Okay, but that's what you do is you cut the world into pieces. And if you have the kind of instruction I've had, which is the highest level that a human being can have anywhere ever in our history of humanity. You can't do any better than what I've had. But nobody gets anything from me. I noticed over the years.
Oh, I've gotten a lot.
But anyway, or they go like, "Oh, you're so cool, man. Thank you. You helped me so much." It means nothing whatsoever. You think Jesus said? Jesus goes, "Why do you say, Lord, Lord, do not do the things I say?" Because he doesn't give a fuck if you say you're a fucking shithead. He doesn't care what you think. You miss the whole point of this worship in churches. He doesn't give a fuck what you think, or you can sing song. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. He's not stupid.
Okay. Let me ask you a real question.
Wait.
All right.
So Lao Tzu said,
sorry,
I'm explaining the teachings.
Yeah.
And if you meditated, you'd never have an old age moment. You'd be 70 years old. You wouldn't forget. You could remember your fucking friend's phone number from 72 years ago, man. I'm telling you. But that's not the way you're going. You're going a different way. That's why I'm talking. So he said, as soon as the word names, you should have known it was time to stop. If you spent 1,000 hours with that written on a board in front of you, just thinking about that, not a minute of that time would be wasted. You might even save your own life. Because that's the Tao Te Ching. It's the most famous and most often translated scripture in the world. And I haven't been able to convince Tanner in 2 years to spend $6 for an original copy, not even a repro. The original copy is still in print from 1960s. Lao Tzu was not even an enlightened master. He was just a mid-level saint. And when he announced one day that he was going to die, and they followed him, and he got to a pass in the Himalayas and he didn't have any money. And there's a guy with a footbridge across. He said, instead of a fare, if you recite your wisdom. So in front of a bunch of students, they say it was a lot. He recited 44 short, was made into 44 poems. They probably didn't rhyme them. I don't know, but they're 44 poems. And that's when he says this. And at the end of the whole thing, he says he bows to his students and he spins around on his heel and he drops dead right in front of them.
Jeez.
Okay? But that doesn't mean that I could convince Tanner in 2 years of telling him this is the only scripture. There's over 1,600 different translations in existence of this work. 44 short poems. It is the most read scripture on the planet. And I talk with Tanner about this shit daily, and I haven't convinced him to even get one copy of it. He thinks the Bible is enough, and it's not. Read it till the end of time, don't understand jack shit about it. You have to work to get it, because it's elusive. You know, you got all these preachers, and you got, like, my friend Sabri in there, whom I love. He's explaining to people about the Word of God, but I'm listening to it right now. It sounds like a high-pitched electronic flute sound. Listen to it right now. These aren't playing any music. They're stopping some of the external. But anyway, and we all know that. All these cultures know that. It's an actual sound. The Word of God is actually sound made by white light. And listening to it chills you. It washes you. And you can look at the light. It starts as a pinpoint right here. Jesus called it the day star. It bursts. If you stare at it, you fix it straight. They practice this all over the world, millions of people. And then it bursts and you move into it. Drinking light. This is an actual practice done by millions of people every day, sometimes many times. I'm connected to people that do it, and they give these satsang, which is like a sermon in the evenings, right after the meditation session. But and they've been doing this for decades and decades all over the world. And this guy's got hundreds of ashrams all over the world in his memory doing this 6 times a day for an hour. Meditation in white light, and then a sermon at night. Living on rice and beans. They're all over the world. Millions of people doing this. You'd be surprised what goes on. That's just a peek into what people miss when they babble on about the Virginia, the Fairfax life and blah 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 blah, or the Miami Beach drinking scene, or whatever, blah, blah, or whatever, or the Carolina country scene. There's something deeper going on this planet, much deeper. And although most people don't, millions do, know quite a bit about it. And there's a lot of attempts and fringe shit, like transcendental meditation, which is, there are charlatans that know something and they're making some money off it, but they're not real master saints. And the difference was explained to me many times. It's quite clear. They can project, appear to you, talk to you, anything. They have full internal contact with their student. They're nothing like rabbis, deacons, and priests. I've had, a full running conversation over the years, actual walk with him in internal planes, for real. People don't get that. You can tell a million times. These people are people, some people, these millions, but not many, have lives that are for real. They're actually conversing across different planes of reality. To think this is it, this is the be-all and end-all right here, this is like stability or whatever, is foolishness. The physical world itself is fading away. Not only are the buildings crumbling, you look so good, and 25 years from now it's not even here, who knows. But I'm just saying, we seem to always crave the stability, but it can't be found here. That's what they realize eventually.
Let me ask you, is it true
Must
that
not be the
Earth was
place. Just can't
terraformed?
really find it here. It's nobody's. They pretend. I'm thinking about. I talked to Tanner. Think about all the great people. You remember that Prince? What an incredible genius of a musician was Prince. I mean, I just don't get it. And you got Steve Vai, V-R-A-I.
Yeah.
Unreal. I've seen one of his tapes. It's like unbelievable, this control they have on this instrument. And they died. They like Jimi Hendrix choked in his sleep.
That's a bad way.
Trying to think. What's her name? The bitch before him that died, choked. Down on me. What was that? Who was that?
Heroin overdose?
Huh?
Heroin overdose?
No, her name. She died and she choked. Her name was. She was down on me. She had a raspy voice. Who was that? That's way back, 1960s. One of the first to die. Jimmy had.
Ronald Reeves?
Oh, jeez. James Morrison had a heart attack in a bathtub from a cocaine overdose.
Yep.
You know, think about the long, long, long list. There's like lots of them.
John Lennon.
Yeah, you got just so many. There's like 20 of them. I can think of so many. There's the lead singer of AC/DC.
Yeah, it's called the 27 Club.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. Thank you. But the point is, whatever they had, or you know, they weren't quite there. I'm trying to say it. They had some experiences, but it's pretty clear they have, but they don't. They weren't really there to. They burned out trying to teach people or tell people about it because it's too much for them. They're not really there at that level, like the saints are, and it burns out the saints too. But they're used to it. They do it voluntarily, and they last for years. But these guys, every few days, different city, different country, for 30 years. It's hard to believe. And their end times were totally, totally different. Kirpal Singh's last day, after a satsang, a girl said, "Could I ask you a question in private?" You know, which he would do. He said, "Sure." He goes, "As long as there's still breath." And right after she left, he died. Sawan Singh, his last day, he asked his aide. He said, "Drag my bed over to the middle of the floor, please, tonight. I want a guard on the door." And he rapped on the door at 2 in the morning, and he asked for a glass of water. And when they came in the morning at 6 in the morning or 5 or whatever, he was dead. So he died. And he told them, you know, in other words, they know ahead of time. They say, you know, this is my last day. Quite a few that way. Lots that way.
Yeah, a lot of people just know when they're gonna die and they can feel it coming.
Charles Schultz. He wrote Peanuts. George Schultz. His last cartoon said goodbye. He has Snoopy saying goodbye and thank you very much. It's been wonderful. He died in his sleep that night. Quite a few. As opposed...
There's a couple of artists recently who died like that as well.
Who?
A few rappers from today.
Suddenly, traumatically, or not?
Yes.
Yes.
So Xxx Tentacion.
Okay.
He's a rapper in a sense who died in 2018.
You got Tupac.
Tupac. Yes, he
I
died.
thought he got shot.
Well,
He
that's a
did get
sudden
shot.
violent death.
Huh?
He did get shot.
Oh.
But the
But
point...
there's also Juice WRLD. He died.
Yeah, he did.
oh,
I
oh.
forgot about him.
Janis Joplin. That's who I'm talking about. The singer with the raspy voice.
Who else? Pop Smoke. He died.
I mean, how
What
about
is that
like Elvis
echo?
Presley?
What is that echo?
Look, Elvis Presley.
What?
Across the street.
Oh.
Elvis
like a
Presley.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm trying to think. There's a whole lot. But the point is that other people talking, you look at their lives and then you ask, are these people the leaders? Look, where do they get to? They had something. They were boastful or you know, they were singing, they were expressing it, but still they weren't. But they say the masters were the ones that never said a word until they solved the whole mystery. And they can take you all the way up because they got the whole puzzle solved before speaking. And that's why every other person of any kind, including rabbis, ministers, priests, and deacons, and all your friends, and all the people you meet all day long, are just telling you things that are just stumbling blocks to delay you But the more you look at the writings and teachings of saints, it's crystal clear. And it's so clear you can actually, and I did it, and within a minute, you can be moving up through planes for real by following their instructions. And their first thing, called right instruction, makes you understand. And they took me up to where I could see through a wall. Okay? I'm looking shadily. You know, I could see like a vague image of a person walking along behind the wall.
Yeah.
I went over to the door and opened the door to look through to check that, and there was the guy walking along behind the wall that I thought, and I did see through the concrete wall.
Wow,
And this person took my attention up to that level. So that makes me understand what you, if I could convey it to somebody, but I don't know if they ever get it.
Look, let me ask
Jesus
you.
actually walked through the door into the upper room at the Last Supper, at the Pentecostal supper, when they the tongues of fire and all that shit, and they were all babbling that in the daytime after that, because he walked through and gave them what I'm talking about, that experience of like, boom. That's what he did for them. All the saints have done this for their close disciples, and the rest of the world is full of organized religion, politics, and all kinds of crap, which doesn't mean anything. Ignore it all. Don't worry about it. You already know what you're doing, following your own conscience, your way, but the idea is to actually do it, because there's a real goal to reach, and that takes real work to get there. That's the way this game is played. It's a real goal. It's nothing to do with what most people are up to, so they're not going to be able to help you at all. You know? I was stalled. This is AC/DC. Stalled in the middle of a railroad track. I looked around, and I saw there was no going back. and I saw there'd be no help from you. And I knew just what to do. Thunderstruck, you know. So that the problem is, figure out what direction you're going in, and pay close attention. It's your life, man. If only you valued your life as much now as you will in the end. But anyway, and then pursue that path, and you're not going to get much help from anybody ever. Most of it's distraction that slows you down. They're called stumbling blocks. It says in the Bible, woe to you that you be a stumbling block. In Hebrews it says, for we know that since ancient times a man would be put to death, that means stoned.
Yeah.
On the testimony of but a single witness, how much worse shall it be for those, they're talking about priests, rabbis, deacons, ministers, all these people. How much worse will it be for those who pretend piety but lack the power thereof? And I explained this to Tanner, but he didn't get it. I try. I love him, but I said, Tanner, these dudes can converse with you. They can come and go from you. They can tell you things about what's going to happen. I've had him tell me stuff that was going to happen. It was like 25 years later, It's like, wow, he just made this remark. He saw that somehow, and he remarks just casually walking along. I said, this is power. This is not people looking for money. They don't even accept it. If he showed up and said, I want to donate $10, they say, no, they don't want your karma. They don't even take money from anybody in the public at all. So, and what they take, they only spend on other projects for other people, what they collect. But I've been to their ashrams in New Hampshire, pretty cool shit.
You want Mike?
Yeah, I'll do another. I kind of need another one. It wears off faster.
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad about it getting older. I think I'd feel a lot better if I didn't run out of heat. It just makes me feel stupid as shit. What did I do, Dimitri? I don't know.
Oh man, I'm your best friend.
Why don't you buy me a 25-pound propane cylinder on loan after you get your next check?
Alright, whenever you want to give me my next check.
When is it?
Whenever you got it.
Could you put a sign on your light this end?
Hilarious as shit. Yeah. Oh man, I'm like, why? You're funny.
Light this in. Put a
Yeah.
little red. You should have an artificial red, like ring on the end, so it looks like it's a flame, right? Ooh, the cops. It's an e-cigarette.
Yep. It's a smoke-a-doodle.
Who's that?
Who gives a fuck?
Well, I don't know. It might matter.
It was a lady who then.
Well, I hear somebody's voice.
Yeah, they just called
Deep.
somebody.
Deep in the woods. Deep in the woods.
You know what they want to do eventually?
Oh,
They want to have only vaccinated people come to the land. They thought of that. If it's going to be wide open,
fuck that. That's racist.
like wide open, no restrictions, open all day, just like before. But you must be vaccinated.
That's not racist. It's segregation.
Yeah, that's sad.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
The more I learn about this pandemic
Fuck
and
that.
how they built it up and how they're running
I could
it.
sue the shit out of them.
Did you notice we're in there on the TV? They're talking about the pandemic, right?
Yeah, they're trying to segregate people.
They're trying to freak you out.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's why I get the fuck out of here.
I read a lot of political analysis about this, you know, from professional or semi-professional and professional, okay? I still have pretty good ways, you know, but they tried racism, women's suffrage, like the Chinese exile, the
Isn't it
Tibetans.
true? Isn't it
The
true?
Chinese hate the Tibetans, okay?
Isn't it true if you have healthy lungs and a healthy lung system, you won't get the corona shit?
You couldn't get anything unless you mentally allowed for it to happen to you.
Understood that.
That's why it's so important
Most
to
people
brainwash
don't
people.
know that.
It's so important to brainwash people because then they're much more susceptible.
Yep.
It's like, unless you have underlying other medical
Dimitri,
conditions.
Yeah.
I have like emphysema, asthma, COPD, bad lungs, chain smoking all day, living in a cold tent.
Huh.
I'm not even worried about it, okay?
Yeah.
And I don't go to doctors.
My,
It's like
my dad would kick me out because he doesn't like me not having
you
vaccinated.
can get over anything. And I'm living
Oh,
on
like, fuck it.
I'm looking on junk food this last month and a half too, with no fresh food.
Uh-huh.
So look, I'm trying to hang in. Next check I get, I re-up my heat. I plug up my juicer again because I got power. My inverter is
You
fixed.
paid me.
No, I give Dimitri $1.
Fuck you.
And don't spend it all in one place.
You ain't lying. I'll spend pennies in many places.
Make sure you save this, Sonny.
I'll spend half a penny in many places.
You know what? I've been in England before. They don't have them now. They used to have a halfpence.
Oh.
It was a halfpence from the old days, centuries ago, right? And it was twice as big as a quarter. And it was made out of copper. It was heavy, big, heavy copper coin called a halfpence.
I mean, half pences aren't even, well, they're old, but they didn't get rid of them too long ago.
Yeah, like in the 70s.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I mean,
It seems like it. It was right after we went there. I was surprised that they did it. I felt bad. We used to buy stuff just for fun to have them count out. That's a 3 shilling, 2 pence, halfpence, and a crown. You know, like this. And it's okay. Thank you, sir. Whatever the fuck that means. I hope you didn't cheat me. How would I know? The British, their sense of humor. You know, like you buy something on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be like £2. So you'd give them like a 10-pound note. So
Hey,
you
where's
count-
this from again? Switzerland?
This is I'm talking about right now.
Sorry. No, these pants, sorry. You said they were for Switzerland?
Who?
These pants were from Switzerland?
They look like they're French.
French,
They could be
okay.
Swiss. They're a European thing.
Yeah.
They have that Euro. I personally don't like it, but that's Europe. And it's not like I like it or don't like it. It's just that's a European style. The French do a lot of cutout designs on their clothes.
Yeah.
They cut the square out and they put another fabric in behind it and shit. They do that kind of shit over there. I told you I happen to know that because I met a guy that in Miami Beach from France. He wanted me to sell his T-shirts, which were cool. He just took a regular T-shirt and he cut a square out here, a rectangle over here, whatever, you know, maybe a circle on one and a little rectangle over here. And he had a seamstress cut a circle and sew a seam, hem, you know. And then behind it, she sewed a piece of paisley. It was all paisley inserts in a white T-shirt.
Huh?
So we had a whole collection of white T-shirts with rectangle squares and triangles and
Wow.
things of paisley sticking through cutouts.
Wow.
And that was he was selling them. This is a long time ago.
That's
25 bucks a piece.
Jeez.
And I was going to get $3 or $4 a shirt if I could place them in stores along Miami Beach. And I was going to work for it. So he takes me to a club. These French babes that were built like I'm fucking Leo come. And they say it to him. She goes, you know, is he French like this? And I said, no, I'm not French, but I can speak. I got hot temper. No, I'm not French, but I can speak French a little bit like this. You know, maybe I could. Some stupid. I said something stupid. He never hired me, but he was about to hire me. He was whining and dying me to do this for him. Guy I met in South Beach many years ago, but that'd be like 75 or 100 bucks a shirt now. T-shirts, you know, T-shirts with the cutout. The French, the style française. But I've been there twice. I hate it. I'll never go back to France. I thought it was a fucked up place, especially now. It's hyper liberal, like demonic.
It's like war zone. It is. It really is. European right now is war zones.
It's
Like
because of this
everywhere.
mask,
I
these
mean,
mandates, these social programs, these
It's a lot
taxes.
different. It's not
Listen, last time in Miami Beach, which was I think 3 years back from now, 2 years, I was talking to these French couple. And I said, what's the problem over there? They said, the taxes in France here are
Up the
approximately
ass.
50%
Yeah.
of your income. Can you believe that shit? 50%.
Oh, it is.
No wonder they're pissed off, man. Huh?
Hey, a drink there is $5 fucking.
Yep, or no more. More like 9.
No, I know.
In service compris.
Yeah.
That's 35%. 30%, no, 30%. So let's see, 9, 3 is price. So $2.75 tip per drink. Yeah. So they're pissed. This is what pays for all the French very, very socialist state. But I think you have to
That's right now, right?
you have to clear. I don't know if you have to be a citizen or what. I don't know. But anyway, it's a very expensive place to go.
Very.
All these liberal cities, because they have these enormous.
Just put it this way: your
Programs.
McDonald's is costing you $50 fucking. No joke.
Huh?
$50 fucking for McDonald's.
And, no, but it's a lot. It's twice what it is here,
Yeah.
at least. Picture that.
Well, it's
So if
$20.
You go to
here.
McDonald's with your friend. You spend $6.82 together.
but it's also not like the McDonald's you believe or you think it is here.
Why not?
It's- McDonald's in other countries isn't like McDonald's here.
It isn't.
Not at all. They
What
have
is-
they have their own menus, own specialties. Own,
No shit, really.
Yeah.
You've been to 52 countries around
Oh,
the
we
world,
gotta
you
check
should
that out.
know.
That's some fun thing to research just for fun.
No, like I'm being dead.
Dead serious.
Tokyo
You
and
should
Japan.
already know that,
So
Mike.
that means that the French McDonald's feature.
They have croissants and shit for breakfast. They have
Yeah, yeah,
pastries.
yeah.
All right, Mike, they got borscht for breakfast in Russia. Okay? That I do know.
At the McDonald's?
Yeah, and that shit is a fucking soup. That can
I
be
know.
that can be made into potatoes in the supper
Yeah.
and
Made from potatoes.
eggs
That's why,
made
in
from
the
beets.
that's why
beginning.
McDonald's is so successful, is because it's
Literally.
monopolized culturally,
Literally.
rather than just Americanizing and becoming a fast food
It
restaurant.
monopolizes culture.
They give you hot dogs for burgers or some shit. They don't give you burgers. Like Angus Burger don't exist there. They give you some other shit, I think.
And also you can order vodka.
Yes,
In a
you
Russian
can.
burger.
You can. Literally,
And I'll
you
take
can.
a couple shots of vodka, please, for
Literally, you
breakfast.
can. $3 a shot, I think.
We could. I wish I could do comedy. I'd have to dress up in disguises or shit. You know, I could do like a thing like. Today we're taking you to a McDonald's in Russia. You probably thought the McDonald's were the same all over the world, but no, comrade, that is not true. You know,
Continue, man. Continue.
we could do a thing just like my favorite. I love it. The epic rap battles. Oh, you got to check it out, man. Check out Bruce Lee versus Clint Eastwood. That's funnier than shit. Man. Clint Eastwood was at Academy Awards, and he had a conversation with an empty chair, pretending he was talking to the president, right? So Bruce Lee comes out and he goes, "You were cool in the 80s, maybe. Now you're just square. A man who talks to people who aren't even there. You're not even fit to rap against this fucking chair." And he kicks the chair in the city, right? So Clint Eastwood stands up and he goes, "I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Take your last look at my slipper shoe," like this. So Eastwood stands up, and right then 3 people simultaneously try to assassinate him, right? So he goes, "Feeling lucky, punk? That's what I'm asking." Bruce Lee died of a brain embolism from taking aspirin. Okay, he goes, "You can't be too tough. You died. You got killed by an aspirin." He said, "You belong in a sweat." He says, "You spent too much time in the gym perfecting your kicks." And then he goes totally out of sync. He goes, "You should have spent more time matching your voice up to your lips." And then he goes, and his brother also died. You know that?
Yeah.
Okay. So he goes, "I'd meet you in a sequel, but that'd be unbelievable. Nobody in your family, no, I'd meet you in round 2, but that'd be unbelievable. Nobody in your family ever lives to see a sequel." Like this. And he walks away like this, yeah. But then the one I like the best of all is Blackbird and Al Capone, right? Did you ever see Johnny Depp films?
Yes.
You did, of course, right? So anyway, he comes out like this, and he pulls out, he got this big watch, right? He goes, "I'm a busy man, so I'll make this quick. I'm ruining pirates faster than Johnny Depp did." He said, "I run an intricate criminal syndicate. Show respect to get your tongue ripped out and shove it up your poop deck."
What
like
the
this,
fuck?
right? He goes, "I've been slapping bitch-ass teachers' back since I was 14. You ain't a tough guy. My kids dress up like you for Halloween." He said, "The only prohibition you left was a prohibition on soap." No, wait. He goes, "Trapped so many crumbs in his rat's nest beard, this bum could get marooned and eat lunch for a year."
What the
He goes, so anyway, he goes,
You're a good rapper, Mike.
"Listen, it's such a fuck fight. I found out at the end there's 2 guys do the whole thing. Those are all 2 dudes disguises. Almost all the acting is those 2 dudes. There's a few supplemental actors too, but it's mostly just those 2 dudes. They're very good at disguises too, okay?" But anyway, so he goes, "The only prohibition is prohibition on soap. They chopped off your head and hung it from a rope. The only prohibition is a prohibition on soap. So come on, John B, take your little sloop and go home and tell South Carolina Blackbeard got Capone," like this, right? So Blackbeard gets up like this, and he goes, "I got 6 pistols, strapped 6 pistols on my belt and a long neck dagger. Walk under the black flag with a scallywag swagger. Ain't no parrot on my shoulder, ain't no ring in my ear. I'm an irate pirate. I'm a real buccaneer, you know. My cold heart is," he said, let's see, "My cold heart is many degrees beneath." Oh yeah, he says, he said, "Beef with me, please. I'm the high sea Caesar. My cold heart is many degrees beneath the deep freezer." He says, he goes, 40 guns on the Queen Anne. Your guy can't stop it. Pilfer all your rum and sell it back." Al Capone had a place in the middle of the Florida Keys. I've seen it. It was an estate right in the middle of the islands, okay? Really kind of cool. And you could get there by water, by boats. You could invade his estate, and he had a lot of stash there. But anyway, he says, "Pilfer all your rum and sell it back at a profit. Throw you overboard like a mob abomination." And he goes like this. He picks up his dagger, right? He licks the edge like this. He goes, "Prepare to learn the Davy Jones locker combination," like this. Right? So anyway, it goes on and on. I just told you a little bit. I didn't spoil it all for you.
Oh, you're good. I like it.
But they are, I'm telling you, man, this is some good rap writing. And the whole thing is you learn about history because they do a lot of actual research.
History before they
Yeah,
rap
they
it.
research these people before they do it.
Yep. It's just badass. It's like they talk about the truth in a rap version. It's just badass. I listen to them daily.
Just the way, "Trapped so many crumbs in his back, rats in his beard, this bum could get marooned and eat lunch for a year." And he's doing it with this accent, this Al Capone accent. Yeah. But just the way he starts out, tapping his watch, like tap his watch twice, like, I'm a busy man, so I'll make this quick. I'm ruining Pirates faster than Johnny Depp did.
Alright, I'm gonna go back inside.
Okay.
Go do something.
There's a lot of really cool reps. So some of them I didn't like, but you know, now they're getting like anything else. They degenerate and proliferate.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Shit.
I'm gonna go watch some of them tonight. Sitting at the kitchen table.
Okay.
I might even eat a brownie if there's any left.
Okay. You
You gotta
gonna
remember to pick up all